What is up, guys? My name of course is Carlo and welcome yet to another video. And yeah, I'm not in frame. It's just because I want to show you this little gadget. This is the Andoer Slider. I bought this with the intention of using it with a DSLR, and I came to figure out or do some experiments because I never expected this little thing to maybe work with the Blackmagic Cinema camera. So basically what is this little device? Well, basically it is what it says on the tin. It's a slider, and it runs on batteries. And if I just bring this out of the way and bring this, hopefully you're in shot. If I press the power button, as you can see, the slider moves by itself. Now generally, I'll just turn this off. It comes with these rubber feet, which basically wrap around these wheels, shall I say, and helps it slide. But I've had some experiments because this has got, I think it's a 12-pound weight limit on it, so it can only hold really mobile phones and light DSLRs to get decent results with slide. But with my experiment shall I say, I took the rubber rings off and I'm able to use this with my Blackmagic Cinema camera. Now obviously I will say do this at your own risk, because this is a very heavy camera, and it may tip. So having it at sort of right angle to do your slides on the actual motor itself is key, and always have your hand ready to catch it if it tips. But with the rubber rings off, with these little things off, it wasn't sliding properly, and I found that these kept popping off the actual wheels itself because of the weight on the actual camera. Sorry, the weight of the actual camera. But I was able to take the rubber rings off, leave it naked, and then when I sort of use it, as you can see, it's sliding perfectly without the rubber rings on it. Obviously, you know, it's a risk thing. Like I said, this is not designed to carry like that. It's not designed to carry professional cameras. But with my experiments that I have been utilising with this little rig, I managed to get some semi-decent shots, which I will put some clips on the screen for you so you can have a look. And as you can see, I do support it, like so it doesn't tip. And that's basically the way it is. So it is a really good device. Obviously, you know, I'm going to take the camera off now so I can show you it properly. Sorry I'm not in frame, guys. I just wanted to get this video done for you guys. It is a really good device. The only problem is you can hear the motor when the actual mechanism moves. So I would say to you guys, don't use this with the audio that's built into the camera if you're going to get one of these things. These are normally used for things like B-roll, so on and so on. I got this with the intention of basically putting the camera on the stand, and when I'm doing a chat with you guys, I'm getting a little movement out of the camera, and I thought it'd make the videos a little bit more dynamic. And obviously that will work because I'm using an external voice recorder like this. So if I'm using an external voice recorder and I'm mic'd up with this, obviously I'm not going to get the sound of the motor. But if you're using this to capture vocals whilst the camera's on it, with the inbuilt camera, it's not going to work very well, or it's not going to work well at all, because it's going to capture the noise of the actual motor. I mean, this thing's really cool. I mean, you can bend the feet, and you can get, I'll just use it without any camera on it. So if you press it, you can hopefully, as you right, so yeah, bit of a balls up there. I'm going to have to put the rubber feet on. If it's really light, then obviously you're going to have to mount the rubber feet on, so I do apologise about that. And basically these are a bit awkward to get on, but I'm going to put these on now and show you exactly what I mean. So that's one. Two. Three. This is an experiment that works. Obviously, if you want to use a camera that's heavier than a DSLR or heavier than a camera that this machine is designed for, then take the feet off, take these rubber things off. So I'm just going to come out of focus so I can just put this thing on for you guys. If I can. Okay, so the rubber feet are on, the rubber thingy bobs are on, and I'm just going to try and get this thing to slide. It's kind of, it really doesn't like this desk. It is a temperamental gadget, so it's not a gadget that, you know, that's going to work straight away. You have to, I think these rubber rings are the worst things ever. They should have made these rings a permanent fixture, shall I say, to the actual rig itself. So let's try it again. So they keep popping off, and that's what happens when you put the Blackmagic Cinema camera on it. If you put too much weight on it, this blooming thing, I mean this whole thing does come out, which is great, and the battery basically goes in there. And if you swap the battery around and turn it the other way around, it does reverse the motor. So I'm just going to put this back inside. May do it. See, the wheels, the rubber rings are absolutely horrendous on this thing. I don't recommend these. This desk is quite smooth, so you know, I would assume that this thing would work perfectly on this desk. With weight on it, yes, but with no weight, it's awful. Right, so there we go. It sort of pans around like that, as you can see there, and gives you nice sort of B-roll shots. Like I said, I mean, it's a good little gadget. It is a bit temperamental. It is designed really for mobile phones and stuff like that, but with my being who I am and experimenting, like I said, you know, once I take the rubber rings off this, I can put the Blackmagic Cinema camera with support. Obviously, don't put your expensive camera on there and just leave it doing its thing without having some support to catch the camera just in case it tips or falls. Yeah, it works great, and I've been able to get some really nice shots with it. You can take the battery out and swap it around, and if you swap it around, it will basically make the motor spin the other way. Which is great. I bought this little Andoer a ball head, or ball mount shall I say, which is the same make as the actual motor itself, or the slider itself. And yeah, it is a bit weighty with that, but you have to, sometimes it jerks, see, if the space is too, but this is, I think it's just poor design because of the feet. These feet things are awful. They really are. These rubber rings are awful. I don't know if anyone else is getting that same sort of problem, but I'd rather take these off and have some a sort of semi-hard surface. You have to sort of, you see that it's struggling to spin. I don't know whether it's because the battery's wearing out or so on and so on. Obviously, if you put a really heavy camera on this, it's going to cane your battery left, right, and centre. Because the battery only lasts for, if I'm using a Blackmagic Cinema camera, the battery only lasts about half an hour constant use on this motor. But yeah, it is temperamental. You know, it's not the best thing in the world for putting off shots, but I've noticed when I put my Bmcc on it, I get some really nice results and some really nice shots with it, simply because of the weight. So I'm going to put my camera back on it now, Blackmagic. Obviously, support your camera. Make sure all your nuts, all your connections are tight, because this thing will tip. And make sure you've got a lot of support. So what I like to do is bend the wheels in, so there's support at the front, and then I'll support the side there. the lens there, and then I'm supposed to push this through, switch it on. But as you can see, it struggles with these rubber rings. But when it does work, it's a lovely, as you can see, it gives you a really lovely pan. But it's not one of them gadgets that works straight away. Always support the camera itself, just in case it falls. You don't want thousands of pounds worth of lens just falling over and basically breaking. So that's basically it. The retail on one of these is about 50 quid, so they're not that dear considering what you're getting. You know, like if I put it there for instance, it's going to tip. So the idea is to place the camera in a position where it's not going to tip, and then once you've got it, you can. To get the pan shots, you have to give it a bit of love. But I do notice once I take the rubber off, this thing always pans perfect. But like I said, I mean, this little slider was not designed for the Blackmagic Cinema camera. As you can see, it's going to give me some really nice shots there. And I will drop some clips. I've shot a couple of clips for this, so you can see exactly what you're getting. So, is the Andoer Slider, Motorised Slider. I will post a link in the description below where you can pick one of these up. They are good. They're not 100% great. But if you get it in the right sort of position and you get the right angles, yeah, you can get some really nice shots with it. But then again, it's the same as all sorts of stabilizers. You really need a learning curve to use it. Like I've just said, I mean, I've gone OTT and I've put a Blackmagic Cinema camera on this thing. Got it working, I get some great shots with it. Obviously, you've got to be 100% careful when you're using this with a very expensive camera. Or a camera that weighs a lot. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's a good little gadget. It's not 100%, but then for 50 quid, you can't really complain. So as always guys, if you have enjoyed this video, like rating would definitely be loved. And as always, if you're not subscribed to the Film at VFX Studios YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button guys, it's much appreciated. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely catch you in the next video. Ciao guys.